And good evening. This is Coach Big Pete, deepdishfootball.com. It is time now for week eight. Week eight. IHSA Football Week 8 games, preview games of the week. Talk a little bit about the games of the week. What more can you say? The season's almost ending. We're going to be talking about playoffs soon. That's scary, really scary. I mean, think about it. I was just getting ready for my first game between Palatine and Stevenson. So let's talk week 8, Deep Dish Football, games of the week. Coach Big Pete, how you doing? Please visit Coach Big Pete and Deep Dish Football on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. Also, feel free to email any questions if you want to at coachbigpete@fp@gmail.com. Also, quick reminder, November 27th is Matt Lemming Prep Insider Showcase, November 27th. Last chance for the class of 2018. College coaches are going to be there. The best showcase in the state of Illinois. Check it out. Also, feel free, if you like the work, to go on the right-hand section on the top of the right for deepdishfootball.com and I'll put it down on the bottom. Feel free to leave a donation. Try to have a little bit of a level of funds to get ready for next week's road trip to Peoria. So let's begin. As I scroll down through IHSA.org, your number one place for Illinois high school football, and that's the truth. So let's go get started. All right, Apollo not looking good so well. Not this week, but Effingham again is. I think they're playoff eligible. It's good to see. Winnebago at Rockford Lutheran's a good game to keep a close eye out for. Also, and sorry for interruptions on the computer. Champaign Central at Peoria is a nice little game to look out, especially for Peoria. Champaign Central not that good, but it's a good pace watch to look at for Peoria High School. Normal versus Danville, another game to look out for too. Peoria Richwoods versus Normal West, great game to look out for. I'll be at the Peoria Richwoods game next week. Keep a close eye out for that game. Fairfield at El Dorado is going to be a hell of a game. Keep a close eye for the Black Diamond game. Fairfield is looking great. So is El Dorado. Of course, El Dorado is always looking great every week. But it's going to be a good game to look out for. Also, Vienna versus Sestervellier. Can Vienna recoup from that loss that they suffered last week? It was a big loss, too. So it should be interesting. Freeburg at Salem. I'm keeping a little bit of an eye on that, especially for Salem, because I'm looking for any 2019 players. Also, let's keep a close eye out for Shelbyville at Central A&M, St. Teresa at Sullivan. Wait, before you say anything, here's the reason why. Next week is Shelbyville versus St. Teresa Decatur. It's going to be a hell of a game. Keep an eye out for that game. I'm going to say that again. Keep an eye out for that game. Next one. Springfield High School versus Sacred Heart Griffin. That's going to be a great game too. Coach Gully's got his Springfield Senators hungry to go to the playoffs. Sacred Heart Griffin lost last week to Rochester. It's going to be an interesting game. Can't wait to see who wins that game. That's because I think that Springfield has got a good shot this game this weekend. All right, Maine West at Highland Park, great game to look out for. Maine West clinched a spot to the playoffs. Highland Park looks great. Coach Rainey's got his team ready. It's good. It's a definite game to look out for. Looking down. Keep looking down. Keep looking down. Not good. Not good. Maine South versus New Trier is a great game. That's a huge game to look out for. This is New Trier's time to basically shine. This is the game. This is the game that sets their season apart. They're taking on the big dogs. New Trier versus Maine South. Brian Dowell's going to get his team ready. It's going to be interesting to see. Also, keep a close eye out for Providence Catholic versus Loyola. It's going to be a huge game. De La Salle versus Marmion Academy in Aurora. That's another good game. Coach Boeheim's got De La Salle looking good. They beat Mount Carmel last week. It's going to be an interesting game. Also, St. Joseph at Leo. That's a must-win for St. Joseph. Chicago Hope versus Chicago DePaul. Keep a close eye out for Chicago Hope. And Chicago Hope's got Trevor Land and those great athletes that they have. Aurora Christian versus St. Laurence is a hell of a game. That's actually a really good game. Drew Clippert lighting up the scoreboards in the state of Illinois against St. Laurence, who's having a miraculous season. Great season for St. Laurence. So Aurora Christian versus St. Laurence is a definite game to keep a close eye out for. And what those kids are doing at St. Laurence is unbelievable. They deserve all the respect in the world. I saw them play a 7-on-7. They do a hell of a job. Keep it up, boys. Also, Waubonsie Valley versus Naperville North. I know it's not really that good of a game, but keep a close eye out for Waubonsie Valley. Let's see if they have some fight in them. Neuqua Valley versus Lake Park. Huge game. Wheaton North versus Naperville Central. Another good game. DuPage Valley's got 3 good games. Keep an eye out for that. Marist versus Bennett Academy. Another good game. St. Viator versus Nazareth Academy looks good. St. Viator you want to keep an eye out for. Carmel at St. Patrick. I know it's not gonna be on radar. Everyone, keep out an eye for the young Carmel freshman quarterback. What else? Prairie Ridge versus Jacobs. That's a good game. A lot of good games this week. A lot of good games to keep a close eye out for, especially big school games that are going to set the thing for the playoffs in 2 weeks. That's right, 2 weeks. And that's going to be crazy. Woodstock North versus Woodstock. Shout out to Woodstock North and Coach Schroeder, my old coach. It's going to be a good game between Woodstock North and Woodstock. Burlington Central at Marengo. I know it's not that much of a game, but it's going to be a huge pace setter for Burlington Central for next year to win out those 2 games. Also, you look at Fisher and Tremont. That's going to be a huge game. The Fisher Bunnies are looking good this year. They will be in the playoffs, hopefully in the playoffs in 2 weeks. So it's going to be a very interesting game to look out for. Also, you have Rantoul at Unity Tolino. I know it's not on the radar, but keep a close eye out for Unity Tolino these last 2 weeks. They are scary, especially when they get into the playoffs. I think they're going to be going up a grade to 4A, if I'm not mistaken. That's going to be interesting. Also, Central Catholic versus IVC is another game to keep a close eye out for, too. Prairie Central versus Monticello is another good game. Prairie Central actually might be going into the playoffs. Shout out to them for doing that. Let's go down. Glenbard South versus IC. That's another good game. Coach Kraft has got his guys going. Coach Christie's got to do something. They're doing good things. Can they upset IC? That's going to be a huge, huge, huge game. Also, Wheaton Academy needs a win. RB versus St. Edward. That's another good game in the Metro Suburban Blue. Wheeling, no. Barrington at Schaumburg, that's a good game. Palatine versus Conant, another good game. Frem versus Hoffman Estates. I want to see what Hoffman Estates can do after their first loss last week to the hands of, I think it was Barrington that they lost to. So that's another game to check out for. Oh, also, Libertyville exerts another good game. Warren Academy, Warren Township versus Zion Bend is another game, but it's a pace game that you want to see what Warren Township can do in that game to get when they get into the playoffs. Because Warren Township is a serious team, and I'm telling that to everyone, do not overlook them. What else? Rockford to Auburn lost. They've lost their first game. They're going against Harlem. That's going to be a good game to keep an eye out for too. Boylan Catholic, no. Hanahu versus Rockford Jefferson. I want to see that game. I know Rockford Jefferson is down, but I want to see what Hanahu can do. If they don't go, okay, we beat Auburn last week. when we go against, we're going to beat this other team, Jefferson. Are they gonna let themselves down? Because there's a lot of upsets that happen when you beat a great team and then you go into the next week, you let yourself down. It's all a mental game, gentlemen. All a mental game. Okay, let's go down here. Quick second. All right. Not Freeport, Stockton. Sorry about that. Um, let's go. Just looking down. Grays Lake North, huge. If they win the game, is a huge win for them. It's going to be a great game. Grays Lake North versus Grays Lake Central. Uh, Antioch, North Chicago, another game. Antioch, I believe, won last week. They beat Lake, so it's going to be another game to keep a close eye out for. West Carroll versus Forreston, another game to look out for. West Carroll versus Forreston is going to be a good game. I forgot what I was going to say, but Lena Winslow is a team that's in the middle of the road. This is a huge must win for them. It's going to be interesting to see, especially in NUIC. Shout out to the NUIC guys, Kyle and his friend. They all do a great job. Check them out. NUIC fanatics. They do a wonderful, wonderful job. NUIC fanatics, keep a close eye out for them. I'm part of the pick'em. They made me do the pick'em for the NUIC. They asked me. I said no problem. I'll probably get everything wrong. I'm doing pretty good, but let me tell you something right now. Those guys are the true experts on the NUIC. No lie about that. I can't believe I'm doing good in the pick'em. I thought I was gonna be 90% wrong with my picks, honestly. But shout out to the NUIC boys and all them. You guys do a great job. Check them out, guys. Also, Athens versus New Berlin. Athens is looking good. Merrill Forsyth versus Auburn. Another game to look out for, too. I'm looking for you. Williamsville, Porta. Williamsville, they're continuing to win. I do say this. I'm going to say this right now. Williamsville can challenge IC, but there's still one thing that Williamsville needs to test. They need to recoup from one loss, and I say that a lot. And they shouldn't be losing. Blah blah blah. They're going to win and they're going to go to the championship. That one loss is a huge momentum builder for our team. I'm just going to say that right now. I'm going to piss off a lot of people too for saying that, but it is what it is. Eltoff Cav, no. I thought that was going to be a good game. Mount Vernon versus Centralia is going to be good. I love Centralia football. They're doing a great job. Brenison's bringing that fast and furious from Springfield to Centralia. Centralia is looking good. Lamont, nope. Crete Monee at Kankakee is a good game. Game with talented players. I tell that to any college scout. If you want to look for some talented players, you go to Crete Monee versus Kankakee High School. That's a hell of a game. Keep a close eye for that one. Shepherd versus Eisenhower. Good game to look out for, too. Coach P does a great job with Shepherd. It's going to be a good game, especially with those talented players of Eisenhower and that line of Eisenhower. Southwest Prairie, I'm going to be at the game, the football game of the week. Oswego East versus Minooka. Great game. Two coaches, two coaching styles, two different teams, and ball control, heavy defense. And on the other side, you got a team, speed, discipline, simple as that. One of the better secondaries in the state of Illinois. Oswego East versus Minooka. I will be for that game. Also, Homer Flossmoor versus Andrew. Andrew has a miraculous season. They're going against the big dogs against Homer Flossmoor. Stag versus Lincoln Way West. Good game. Stag needs to win this game to get into still stay in the playoff hunt. Lincoln Way East. Who do you play? They play Flournoy. That's going to be a win. No. There's some things like, no, it's not going to work. East St. Louis versus O'Fallon's a great game. East St. Louis quarterback is coming back to play his old team at O'Fallon. It's going to be a great game to watch. Edwardsville versus Belleville West. Great game. Edwardsville's looking good, but Belleville West is having a hell of a season. Keep an eye out for Belleville West down in the Southwestern Conference. All right, what else do we got? Orion at Valley. Nah. Hull versus Prophetstown's a good game to keep a little bit of an eye out for. Let's see what else. Batavia at Elgin, no. St. Charles East at Elgin, nah. Wow. Some real stinkers up here. St. Charles North and Batavia is next week. That's a game to look out for. Hinsdale Snow, Glenbard West versus OPRF, good game. Huge rivalry game coming up. Hinsdale Central versus Lyons Township. Lyons Township's almost lost to DGN last week. It's going to be a game to look out for. Lyons Township, Hinsdale Central, game you want to keep a close eye out for. Also, keep an eye out for Proviso West versus York. And I'm going to say this why. Proviso West is going to be good in a couple of years. Keep a little bit of an eye out for Proviso West. I'm going to say that. I'm going to keep saying it. And I know it's going to piss off some people, but keep up a job. East Moline versus Quincy, just to see the Jarrell Brock show. You got to see the Quincy game. No doubt about it. He's that good. He's that good. I'm not going to lie about it. He's that good. Rock Island and Galesburg, sort of a good game to look out for. Moline versus Elman, good game to look out for too. Moline's going to be going to Stag next week. Stag's going to be going to Moline next week. Great game to keep an eye out for. Let's see what else we got. A bunch of non-conference games. Herscher at Seneca, that could be a good game. Lyle at Mantino, another good game. Mount Carmel versus Montini, huge game, of course. The legends, but except Coach Andranio has retired. It's going to be a good test for Montini, and is frankly going to get his boys ready, get them in fit because they lost last week to De La Salle. So we'll see. It's going to be a good game. A lot of teams again playing Iowa schools. That's great. Coles City versus Palatine, another good game, another good I-8 game. Palatine, two of the two top second place teams, if I'm not mistaken, Interstate 8, small and large. It's going to be a good game. You sort of have to give the slightest favor to Coles City, but we'll see what happens because Coles City mimics a little bit of what Morris does in its coaching and in its style and approach. It should be a good game to watch out for. Let's see what else we got. Let's see. Lyle at Mantino, like I said, it's a good game. Sandwich at Wilmington might be a good game to look out for. Just because of the passing attack of Sandwich, and you never know what's going to happen. Richmond Burnham versus Genoa is a good game to. It's a nice game to look out for too. A lot of teams playing Indiana teams. Don't know why. Cary Grove at South Elgin is a hell of a game this Saturday. That's a great game. Cary Grove at South Elgin is a great game. That's a great. Whoever made that game was smart, and Cary Grove is good. South Elgin had their first loss to Batavia last week. It's going to be a good game. Cary Grove, Smash Mouth football, South Elgin, those athletes. It's going to be a hell of a game, South Elgin versus Cary Grove. So that's about it for Deep Dish Football Week 8 top games to look out for as I go through IHSA.org. Got a lot of good games. I will see everyone at Oswego East for the Friday night game of the Deep Dish Football game of the week. Week 8. I'm talking about week 8. I'm getting old now. Next week, Peoria. I'll be at Peoria. Please feel free to visit deepdishfootball.com. Coach Big Pete, Deep Dish Football on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. Please follow. If you like my stuff, please feel free to leave a donation or a tip on the right-hand section via PayPal. I'll put it down in the bottom too. Trying to get up the funds to go to Peoria next week. It should be a fun time. Thank you guys so much and have a lovely, lovely night. And remember this, 2 more weeks already. After those 2 weeks, for all you guys, for all you seniors out there, and this is just a quick thing for you seniors out there. This might be most of you kids, might be the last chance for you playing football. Remember it and have a fun time because that's what the main thing about football is, having fun. I'm Coach Big Pete. If you have any questions, please email me at coachbigpete@fp@gmail.com. Have a lovely, lovely night, and let's get ready for football week 8 IHSA football.